All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observations, and entertainment. I ask that you like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Nowadays. Um, and I'm pretty sure Kim can tell you, when she first started working at the job, you don't just let everybody in. You kind of get a feel for everybody, you talk to people, you kind of see where their head is, and then based off of that, you let them in. But if you see that, there's maybe a little bit of erratic behavior, this one, was with this one's man and this and this and that, you kind of take a certain stance with certain people. So um, in order to build friendships and get out there, you have to put yourself out there. It has to be earned. So a lot of people I find nowadays, they're not really, they're best friends. And I can speak for myself. A lot of their best friends are their family members, like a cousin that they talk to almost every day, or a sister, or somebody that they speak to because they were raised together. They have certain type of experiences together, and they know who that person is. But to take on somebody new nowadays, it's a gamble. You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know what their motives are. And so all of that has to be earned before you even open the door nowadays with people. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but society, everybody's got the latest car, everybody's going on all these trips, everybody's making everything look all glamorous, and it's not. So you just got to be careful.
Okay, that's pretty good. Um, welcome to the show, Big Al. Welcome to the show. We're talking about loneliness and the loneliness epidemic. A man of your seasoning. Um, have you noticed that people are more lonely today or back in the day? And you can go all the way back to college, to your days at Southern University.
I think people are less lonely today only because of technology and IT. I think back to COVID, where we did Zoom chats with my family and my kids and grandkids. So we were able to stay bonded and connected. There are so many things that IT and automation affords you to do dating, to do things to keep you engaged. So I think automation and IT has made people less lonely because you can connect, even though you're connecting virtually and in cyberspace, you still can look at a person like I can look at you guys. We can talk and communicate. And I think that mitigates loneliness today as compared to before.
And you've deployed in the military for more than once, I could say. Did you ever feel lonely when you were deployed?
No, only because I am a very aggressive person. So when I was deployed to Germany, I met friends in Germany, both military and German nationals. So I communicated with them. We would go out and eat, drink together. In Korea, I did the same thing. In the Middle East, I reached out to people, no matter what country, whether it was Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, wherever, I reached out and I uh, inserted myself within the local community so that I had that sense of family, even though I was in a foreign country.
Okay, okay. And knowing how you grew up with your siblings and cousins, and do you feel that the kids today, or your kids and grandkids, were they as close as you were with your siblings and cousins? Because I can say in my family, no, we are not.
Uh, in my family, my children and grandchildren are. And that's primarily because I forced that. I forced the bonding, I forced the communications so that my grandsons every day, they're talking, they're playing games virtually. And even when we were in a foreign country, my children would reach out. Again, we didn't have the technology at the time, but they would keep in touch with their cousins, with their aunties, their uncles, grandfathers, and grandfathers. It's just because of the legacy I want to foster within my family. And I have siblings that are totally different. But within the sphere of the family that I can control, I want that generational connection. I want us to be close. I want to share experiences. I've got a Zoom link that we meet up every week where all the grandkids have to tell everybody what's going on. If there are any fundraisers going on, if there are any trips going on, then they tell us about those. And it's just one of those things that I think is very important. So from what I can control, a lot closer than others.
That's impressive. That's impressive because I know, like I said, I know our children, like myself, Chocolate Pearl and Apple, our children are somewhat close, but they're not as close as we were to our cousins because we were a lot closer. My father was similar to you, and he took us. We were at our relative's house almost every weekend. If it wasn't every weekend, it was every other weekend. So we got a chance to, we had a chance to be with our cousins and our great aunts and great uncles and things like that. But I think life started lifing, and as things got easier technologically, we didn't um we didn't take advantage as much as we should have. We do now, but because you know we didn't I have six siblings, and we went almost 33 years before all seven of us were in one place at the same time. Now we would be getting places. There'd be three or four of us, and I was like the Rolling Stone. I just blowing like the wind, say hey and keep going. But we purposed ourselves to have a siblings reunion. Then we said we'll bring our kids. We ain't never get to that point yet, but we'll get there. And instead of we expecting bickering and fighting.
That's because we ain't paying for our kids to come. They got to pay their own way. That's why they ain't come.
uh, I didn't
Wait,
want.
my son came to one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is right. That's correct. That he did come,
as did your
and he paid his way. So
your
you
son.
can't count. No, you can't. No, you can't
He
count
came
mine.
out for a couple of minutes,
He came for a couple of minutes, and that was it.
and um, but we realized that time is running out, and the last thing we want to be is the last thing we want to be is to not see somebody that we share the bedroom, we share sometimes share the bed, and next time they line in the box, and that ain't cool. So we purpose ourselves to being more in contact with each other when we can. And distance and money do have a vote, but I think that's what happened with us. Dabs, what's your opinion on that?
Well, my opinion is I'm actually a lonely person by nature. Um, Younger, like you said, most of us, we hung out with our family, every Sunday, all day at church. We hang out all day. Later on in life, I think probably my college years, because I don't do friends. I don't have any friends. So I think that's makes me kind of a lonely person by nature. Um, a lot of hanging out with people and communicating with other people. I don't do much of it, so I kind of I guess I'm kind of a loner.
That's
Just like I like to keep to myself. And so
but that
yeah.
doesn't mean that you're a loner. That doesn't mean that you're
Well, I
lone.
mean,
You might be a loner, but that doesn't mean
well,
you're.
no, sometimes, well, no, that's what I said. Sometimes I often think, do I need friends? Should I have friends? So it kind of gets me in that, lonely feeling sometimes, but, other times it's like,
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't.